What is history? Is it the truth of what happened? Or is it the story told by the victor? We believe dancers celebrate. We believe they remember. But what if a dancer's body became the only book left for his people? And what happens when a new king decides to rewrite that book? This is not a story of art. This is a story of a living archive, and the terrifying cost of editing the past. In the Kingdom of Nyota, history was not written. It was danced. For generations, the Unyago lineage of dancers held the sacred duty. Through specific, ritual movements, they preserved everything: migrations, wars, treaties, the true lineage of kings. The current dancer was Afam. When he danced the saga of the river crossing, you felt the chill of the water. When he danced the betrayal at Blood Rock, fury heated your blood. He was the living memory of his people. But memory is dangerous to those who rule with lies. The old king died. His son, Prince Denzel, was a cruel, insecure man, obsessed with legacy. He seized power not just as king, but as the Sun Sovereign, a title he invented. His first decree? The Unyago dance for his coronation must tell a new history. One where his father was a mythical hero. One where the treacherous battle of the twin spears, a battle his side had actually lost, was to be danced as a glorious victory. Afam refused. My body knows the true steps, my king. It cannot learn false ones. Denzel smiled. A smile like a crack in dry earth. Then we shall teach your body a new language. He had Afam taken not to a prison, but to the Chamber of Echoes, a sacred cave behind the waterfall where dancers once communed with ancestral rhythm. Now, it was his torture chamber. Denzel sorcerer, a gaunt, silent man named Mfalme, brought in the drums of submission. Drums made from the skin of past traitors, stretched over wood from a tree that drank silence. Afam was chained, but allowed to move. The drums of submission began. Their sound was wrong. It didn't invite dance, it commanded it. A deep, throbbing pulse that bypassed the ears and seized the muscles. Afam's foot twitched against his will. Then his spine arched. The drums were not playing a rhythm for him to follow. They were physically pulling his body into their beat. Mfalme whispered the new, false history. Denzel, alone, held the pass at twin spears. The drums boomed a specific, ugly pattern. Afam's body violently enacted a heroic, solitary stand. But his face was a mask of agony. He was a puppet. His true knowledge screamed inside him, a silent war against his own limbs. Denzel made him perform this edited history at his weekly feasts. The court applauded the dazzling, powerful movements. They did not see the tears cutting through his ceremonial paint. The ancestral spirits, witnesses to the true past, were horrified. Their connection to Afam, the channel through which history flowed, began to fray under the strain of the lie. An old, blind drummer named Baraka, who had played for Afam's mother, heard the new, corrupted rhythms. He found Afam after a performance. "Child," he said, his milky eyes wide. "The drums are not just making you dance. They are rewiring you. Your muscles are memorizing the lie. Each time you dance it, the true history in your bones is being overwritten." Afam felt it. When he tried to privately dance the true step for the river crossing, his leg seized. A blinding pain shot through his knee. The false victory march from Denzel's lie had replaced the true step of retreat in his very sinews. The sorcerer's magic was making his body forget. He was becoming a living monument to Denzel's ego. And with each performance, the true history of Nyota was dying, not on parchment, but in the flesh of its last keeper. The horror deepened. The corruption wasn't just physical. It started bleeding into reality, twisting the world to match the danced lie. Afam was forced to dance a new edict, that the fertile Valley of Singing Grass had always belonged to Nyota, ignoring the sacred treaty with the neighboring Badoa people. After the dance, maps in the kingdom began to subtly change. The ink on ancient treaties seemed to fade. The elders who remembered the treaty negotiation found their memories becoming fuzzy, unstable. Then, Afam danced a vicious lie that branded a noble family, the Waziris, as ancient traitors. He didn't want to. His soul revolted. But the drums broke his resistance, and his body performed the slander with brutal elegance. The next day, the Waziri family found their ancestral staffs, symbols of their honor, had cracked overnight. Their faces in family portraits seemed to scowl. The very proof of their lineage was turning against them. Afam was no longer just a dancer. He was a weapon of historical genocide. His movements were erasing truths and manufacturing new, terrible realities. He discovered the full cost when he glimpsed Mfalme the sorcerer preparing the drums. He was inscribing them with symbols, using a paste made from ground memory bones, a taboo substance from the remains of storytellers. The drums were literally consuming the past to power the lie. His body was now a battleground. The true ancestral rhythms fought a war against the drum's commands from within his nervous system. He began to have violent, public spasms. During a feast, as he danced the false victory of twin spears, his body suddenly contorted into the true, panicked step of flight. It looked like a horrifying, grotesque parody. Denzel was furious. He issued an ultimatum. At the upcoming festival of the new sun, Afam would perform the grand symphony of Denzel, a complete, false history of his glorious reign from birth. It would be his most powerful, extended performance. If he resisted, Mfalme would use a final, forbidden ritual, the drum of the empty vessel. It would break his will entirely, turning him into a hollow, perfect puppet forever. But if he performed it, the dance would be so potent, so saturated with magic, that it would rewrite the past for everyone. The lies would become truth. The true Nyota would be erased from existence. The night before the festival, broken and desperate, Afam was visited by Baraka, the blind drummer. He had stolen something. A small, simple drum of remembering, carved by the first Unyago dancer. Its sound was pure, weak, but true. The big drums make the body lie, Baraka whispered. But this one, it speaks only to the deepest memory, the one beneath the muscles. The memory in the spirit. You must dance two histories at once. At the festival, the entire kingdom gathered. Denzel sat on his high throne. Mfalme began the thunderous, commanding beat of the drums of submission. Afam, in his golden chains, began to move into the grand, false symphony. His body told lies of heroism and destiny. But in his other hand, concealed, he held the small drum of remembering against his own chest. With every forceful step dictated by the big drums, he tapped a tiny, frantic, counter-rhythm against his heart. Inside, a civil war erupted. The submission drums commanded his limbs. The remembering drums screamed the true history into his soul. The conflict became physical, terrifying. His dance became a monstrous, beautiful, horrifying spectacle. One moment he was a proud conqueror, the lie, the next he was a weeping refugee, the truth. His body jerked between the two timelines. He was dancing both the glorified fiction and the painful, hidden reality simultaneously. The audience was spellbound, then confused, then deeply unsettled. They were seeing double. Seeing the ghost of the true past haunting the shiny false one. Denzel stood, roaring from Mfalme to intensify the drums. The sorcerer poured all his power into the final movement, the lie of Denzel's divine birth. The strain was too much. Afam's body, the conduit for this war of histories, could take no more. With a final, agonized scream that was part roar, part lament, He channeled all the conflicting energy outwards. A silent pulse of images exploded from him. Not one history, but both. The glorious lies and the bloody truths flashed before the entire kingdom's eyes in a dizzying, overwhelming cascade. People clutched their heads, memories colliding. The drums of submission shattered. Mfalme was thrown back, his connection to the magic severed. Afam collapsed. Not dead, but empty. The war had burned out the very pathways of dance in him. He would never dance again. The living archive was formatted. But he had one. The pure, uncensored truth was now lodged, messy and painful, in the collective mind of the people. Denzel's clean, perfect lie was ruined forever. He was overthrown that very night, his reign exposed as a fragile fiction. Afam, now just a man, sits in the village square. He cannot dance. But sometimes, when the children play, they move in ways that accidentally echo a true, old step. And he smiles, and with a voice that is finally his own, he tells them the story behind it. History is no longer trapped in a single body. It is free, flawed, and alive in the people. But in the chamber of echoes, the shattered skin of the drums of submission sometimes stirs in the dark, as if trying to find a new beat, and a new dancer to enslave. Afam's body was a nation, and Denzel tried to colonize it with lies. His story teaches us that those who control the past control the future, but that truth, no matter how brutally suppressed, has a rhythm of its own. It might break the vessel that carries it, but it cannot be undanced. But what do you think? Was Afam's final, devastating dance a victory, or was the cost, the loss of the living archive itself, too high a price to pay? Could he have found another way to resist? Let me know in the comments below. If this tale of embodied memory and rebellion chilled you, then you must witness the story of the weaver whose tapestry captured souls. The link is on the screen right now. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more original, chilling tales from the Safari of Tales. We release new stories every week that will make you question the stories you've been told. Until next time, listen carefully to the rhythm of your history.